You know what I stands for? Intense, confidence, and excellence. That's what's getting me through the semifinals.
Today on American Gladiators, the second half semifinals begin. The world-class athlete versus the weekend warrior. Tommy Knox, the chiropractor, used to cracking heads and backs, has found some solace in Gladiator Arena.
Well, so far I still have all my limbs, so I must be doing something right.
But Tommy, wake up and smell today's cup of coffee. His name is Daryl Golar, a two-time national Greco-Roman wrestling champion. On the women's side, Susan Stenzel versus Tracy Passo. These two met in Powerball at the Contender tryouts. Little did they know they'd meet again before millions of viewers with the stakes so high.
American Gladiators is like anything else, survival of the fittest.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Gladiator Arena in Los Angeles, California, here are your American Gladiators. The Tower of Power, Sap, Gemini, Blaze, the Laser Beam, Lace, Nitro,
The Samuel Golden Company presents the American Gladiators. Let the games begin.
The road to our grand championship continues here on the American Gladiators. Today, a pair of second-half semifinals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle, along with NFL Hall of Famer Larry Zonka. 8 contenders remain in our elimination tournament. And today, Larry, 4 of them will go at it. In our women's competition, it's Susie Stenzel versus Tracy Passo. And on the men's side of the coin, it'll be Tommy Knox versus Daryl Golar.
Well, Mike, we've got a pair of point scorers here. If you examine their earlier competition, they're almost a mirrored image of each other, right down to their eliminator times, but with one exception, Powerball. Daryl once scored 12 points in Powerball. And Mike, guess which event we have up first?
I think it's Powerball, right?
You got it.
Well, to get here, Daryl beat Anthony Jackson and Tony Corella. Tommy was victorious over Ted Pappenhagen and Kevin Cleary. Remember, the contenders ultimately vying for a spot in the Grand Championship and $175,000 in cash and prizes. And in that Grand Championship, they will meet our first half champion, Mark Ortega. And here come our Gladiators, Tower, Gemini, and Nitro. Powerball is brought to you by Nintendo, makers of Super NES. Now you're playing with power, super power.
Well, our Gladiators are certainly ready. They've devised a plan, and our contenders also very ready. Daryl's been through it before, so's Tommy Knox. They're ready to go.
And for Powerball, once again, scores in the center cylinder worth 5, scores in the outer cylinders worth 3 points. Both men trying to use their speed early on to get by the Gladiators. They'll have none of that.
Those contenders look like they might try to lower a shoulder early on, but didn't.
Daryl Golar has one roll off on the outside.
Tommy making a move on Tower and lofting the ball in. Just a lucky shot, but it counts.
Daryl blew by Tower that time. He scored.
Tommy trying the same thing on Tower, and Tower says no way.
10 seconds to go. Each man with a goal.
Tommy tries, and Tower launches him out into the out of bounds.
Daryl shot at the barrel, does not count. We got a 3-3 tie, 1 goal apiece for Daryl Golar and Tommy Knox. Quickness did play a part in the goals that Daryl and Tommy were able to score. Tommy, operating out of his own end zone, so to speak, freezes Tower in his tracks and is able to lay one in.
I think Daryl Golar took the hit from that. Tries to stay and move. He's got that small frame. A lot of quickness from his wrestling experience.
All right, the women are set to play Powerball. Look now at Tracy Passo, 22 years old. And to get here, Tracy beat Talfa Lanen in the quarterfinals. Susie Stenzel has come on like gangbusters since taking over for the injured Terry Plunkett in the prelims. Our construction worker beat Vivian Riley in the quarterfinals to get here to the semis. And there's her mom, Lois.
And as we mentioned at the top of the show, these two gals met each other during the tryouts, had an opportunity to play Powerball against each other. Let's see if they've learned anything and they can bring that experience here.
Big difference now, however, is they'll be going against our 3 Gladiators. And instead of 1-on-1, it'll be 2-on-3, and hoping to give the Contenders a licking. Lace, Ice, and Blaze. Again, Tracy Passo with the excellent move past Blaze.
Susie with another score on ice.
Tracy Passo so deceptive. She's got that long angular body, but good quickness and really adept at using the head and shoulders to fake out the Gladiators.
2-on-1. Susie grabs the corner. Tracy's denied.
Five seconds to go. What do we got? And referee Larry Thompson stopping play momentarily to warn Blaze about stepping into the gold area, the safe zone for the Contenders.
We have 6 seconds to go. Stay out of the goal.
And play resumes. 6 seconds left. Time winding down. Tracy scores there right at the end, and that is it. Tracy wins at 12-6, and based on that performance, the next 6 events should be something.
Well, our Contenders came to play, and play they did. Seemingly almost scoring at will, but our Gladiators did have their moments. Right here, Tracy gets the sandwich deal, shades of the old NFL, 2 linebackers. Ooh, that hurts.
And here's what our referee warned Blaze about. Clearly, she's in the gold area, and that prevented Susie from scoring. So Susie and Tracy will head back to the locker room, but don't you go away, because we've got hand-to-hand combat coming up next. Battles with pugil sticks, the Joust. Welcome back to Gladiator Arena. We are now set for the Joust. Tracy Passo with a 6-point lead over Susie Stenzel after one event. Tracy has yet to win in the Joust. She has a loss and a draw to her credit. Tracy is up first. Susie Stenzel will wait her turn on the sidelines. Remember, the second half champion moves on to the Grand Championship to face first half winner Kimberly Lentz, and she is going to be awfully tough to beat. Zapp is on the platform for the Gladiators.
And Mike, Tracy is kind of an imposing figure there. It's one of the few times we see one of our Contenders actually a little bigger than our Gladiators. Usually it's the other way around.
Again, a chance for Tracy to earn as many as 10 points if she can knock Zapp from that pedestal. She's got 30 seconds to do it. Tracy has got Zapp in trouble. Now Zapp's got Tracy in trouble. Who's going to go first? Oh! Tracy's a little angry with herself. She thought she had it, but Zapp is like the Rock of Gibraltar up there. She's awfully tough to move. So no points for Tracy Passo.
Both Contender and Gladiator trading blows. What happens here, it appears that Tracy goes on the aggressive side of things, gets up close to the edge of the platform. It's a little off balance, as is Zapp. Zapp comes around with the old roundhouse. Tracy near the edge, and off she goes.
So the window of opportunity open now for Susie Stenzel. A win her puts her in the lead. Lois down there exhorting Susie in Powerball to melt ice. Now she'd like to see her daughter wrap Zapp.
Well, she may. Her daughter has 5 brothers, been in the heavy construction company business. Her dad steered her into that. She said she's a lady at nighttime, but during the day, she lines up and runs a labor crew in heavy construction.
Right now, she trails Tracy Passo 12-6. Chance for Susie to narrow that margin. Perhaps even go ahead.
Susie wants to knock somebody else's brains out.
Susie better be careful. She could get a little too aggressive and cross over to Zapp's pedestal.
That's a trick in this event, Mike, is keeping your balance. Besides delivering and receiving blows, you've got to keep your balance.
Less than 10 seconds. Susie on the verge of going.
Ooh, body shot by Zapp.
That's it, and Susie Stenzel gets the draw on 5 points. And now after 2 events, she trails Tracy by just 1, 12-11.
Susie doing a good job of hanging in there. Actually, this was a match of push or be pushed, and neither woman would budge.
Second event for the men is the Joust. Tommy Knox up first. He draws Laser. This has not been a Contenders good event. Gladiators have dominated the Joust. And Laser expects to continue the domination, but there is a learning curve here like many of the other events. Contenders seem to get a better feel for it as the competition goes on.
They also get a certain curve in their back, Mike, from being knocked off that pedestal by a mighty blow swung by the Gladiators.
On guard!
Again, short work for our Gladiators. Laser sends Tommy Knox to the canvas in 3 seconds.
Tommy looked like he was glad to depart from the pedestal just to get away from the blows.
Daryl Golar ascending the pedestal, the platform, the two-time national Greco-Roman wrestling champion. Survived 19 seconds against Gemini in the second round. That was his best effort in this event. Daryl's the one man I think can pull this off. He's got the great center of gravity, the great balance. He's strong in the upper body. He could give Laser a test.
He's got all the assets. It's just whether or not experience is going to help him out. And it doesn't.
That one was 2 seconds.
Well, we thought about it. While we thought about it, Daryl disappeared.
Laser, obviously, Larry did not read Daryl Golar's bio.
No, he was unimpressed by that.
But Daryl was impressed by 3 overhand chops that sent him off the platform.
Gladiators are strong, and so far they can do no wrong. They're getting ready for the next event, Atlasphere. Welcome back to Gladiator Arena, and we are now set for Atlasphere. And in the semi-final match, Tommy Knox and Daryl Golar tied at 3.
All the way, brother. Good luck, man. Come on.
Quick strategy session with Laser and Thunder, the two Gladiators who will be inside those Atlaspheres doing battle with Tommy and Daryl.
Tommy with a long, lanky frame, a lot of athletic ability. Let's see what kind of control he has over his Atlasphere. As we see Daryl Golar load into his Atlasphere, small, muscular frame, a lot of leg strength.
We know how Thunder can rock those Contenders when he's inside that cage. Again, scoring for Atlasphere here in the semifinals, each goal worth 3 points. And Atlasphere is sponsored by Combos, the one snack that's twice as good.
Contenders ready! Gladiators ready!
Here it comes.
Whoa!
I tell you what.
Good description. Thunder smacked Daryl. Daryl able to make some points out of it, however, rolling through pod number 3. Tommy denied down to pod number 1.
I tell you, that was really a great recovery by Daryl Golar. He took a direct hit from Thunder.
Went
spun
airborne.
Spun off the hit, got back up on his feet, and rolled that thing for a score.
Tough to make that thing move with your head when you're upside down.
Tommy Knox, a chiropractor from Huntington Beach, California, having his problems, though now he's got a breakaway towards scoring pod number 3. Laser does a great job of keeping him out of there.
Tommy, with all his Little League friends watching him, he does a lot of coaching in the community. Told his kids to watch him on TV.
One last shot here, but it is not to be. Daryl Golar wins this Atlasphere match, picking up 1 goal worth 3 points.
And now has a 6-3 lead over Tommy. Tommy both tired and frustrated, coming away without any points in this event. You ever wonder what it would be like as a halfback to come down and slam into a defensive tackle? Well, there it is right there. Daryl Golar unimpressed by it, though. He bounces off, goes down and picks up a score.
Okay, I'll sit back for, what, 2 seconds?
1 second, half a second, as long as you let me go first. Just let me go first, hit the
All
bottom
right.
of the ramp, and then you start rolling. We'll do crisscross. If we get stuck, we'll just follow whoever we're closer to. And stay
instead of going
on her.
straight. Okay,
Stay on her.
just don't let up. All right.
Stay on her.
I think Diamond lost play somewhere during that explanation of a strategy. They're going to try the crisscross technique, and let's see if Diamond does go first. down that ramp. Tracy has a 1-point lead over Susie Stenzel. Susie will be inside the yellow Atlasphere and Tracy the red one. Diamond and Blaze set to go.
And now it's come down to this. Remember, Tracy's got to outscore Susie because Susie's 10 seconds faster than the Eliminator.
Here they come. Again, the Contenders have 60 seconds to score as many times as they can. You have to put it inside those scoring pods and ignite the sensors. Both women do that early on.
Gladiators get a little mixed up in their strategy and give Tracy a clear shot, but she's unable to take advantage of it.
Once those things are not moving, it's hard to get them going from a dead start.
Susie with a little bit of a breakaway heading for pod 1. Oh, she gave it a great effort.
She got the sensor to ignite. Tracy does the same thing in scoring pod number 3. Each score worth 3 points. Right now, both women have 2 goals. Time runs down, 5 seconds to go. Tracy with one final shot.
No way.
No score in 3. No score.
And it was apparent Blaze didn't pay attention to that little counseling session before the match. She went first, not Diamond. Tracy now has a 1-point lead over Susie Stenzel as both women score 2 goals apiece. Up next, Hang Tough. We are halfway through our competition here in this semifinal round match. In the men's competition, Daryl Golar with a 6-3 lead over Tommy Knox. Quite frankly, Larry, I thought this would be a little higher scoring.
I thought perhaps it would go that way, but Tommy doing a good job of staying in there. Scored a few points. In this second half, anything can happen. Tommy's a fine athlete. He'll come back. Assault, maze. We've got a lot of things where points can happen quickly.
Women's competition very close right now. Tracy Passo with a 1-point lead over Susie Stenzel.
Susie in the background in the yellow fell behind, but then scored some points in the joust. She's not too intimidated by that 1-point lead Tracy has.
Yeah, we hope you're ready.
One of the Gladiators that Tracy will have to deal with is Lace, who rejoins us after a short leave of absence. She joins us now from the Gladiators locker room. Lace, nice to have you back. We missed you.
Thank you, Mike. It's good to be back.
Coming up, an event I know that you're looking forward to, the maze.
Definitely looking forward to the maze. I like the maze a lot because they don't know where I'm hiding.
And cunning has always been a big part of your game as an American Gladiator, that and athleticism and just about everything else.
Just about everything else, Mike, that's true.
Anything you can whip on the Contenders is fine with you, right?
Anything I can whip on them is what they're gonna get.
All right, Lace, good to have you back.
Thanks, Mike.
Switching gears to the men's competition, they're up first in Hang Tough. Tommy Knox, the chiropractor, trailing Daryl Golar by 3, but not to worry, Tommy has plenty of support. His whole family is here, his wife Tawny, his son Tyler Joe, his little daughter Cassie. In the second round, Tommy's best showing in the Hang Tough event so far. He earned a draw against Laser.
But that's history. Today, right now, he has to face off against Tower.
And if you haven't seen this event before, Contender can earn 10 points if they cross this grid of 55 rings without being pulled off.
And Mike, you remember way back in the practice rounds before all of this started months ago, Tower was a little bit concerned about his ability in Hang Tough, but now he's right at home on those rings. Tower tries a reverse leg lock.
Tommy now going towards the outside, missed the ring, lost his momentum momentarily. Here comes Tower, he's got that lower leg.
20 seconds remain.
Contender has to make an attempt to move on to another ring. Tommy trying to hang on for dear life. Now keeping his legs out of harm's way.
That'll be a referee's decision.
He gets 5 points for the draw, says referee Larry Thompson.
They've got to give him a few points just for all the excitement. Check this out. His fans and his family, all here from Huntington Beach, California, all on the edge of their seats, are standing up. They're appreciative of the performance Tommy put on.
And for the moment, Tommy has the lead. Now it's Daryl Golar's turn to see what he can do against Tower. Daryl has yet to make it across in his 2 previous Hang Tough appearances. Perhaps the 3rd time will be the charm. Chalking up as Tower ascends the platform. There's his record.
Tommy Knox looking on. You know full well who he's pulling for.
Daryl lost to Tower in the 2nd round, so a chance for a little payback here.
I think some of the problems Daryl has perhaps is with that short reach. It becomes very difficult ring to ring unless you've got a lot of momentum worked up.
That and the fact that Tower takes up so much space in midair.
Kind of darkens the sky up there, doesn't he?
That's one big wide body to get by.
Daryl's least favorite event, Hang Tough, and Tower is doing everything in his power to make sure it stays that way as they get very close.
30 seconds left.
Gotta move, Tower.
Larry Thompson, our referee, telling Daryl and Tower both they've got to go, they've got to move, they can't just stay on the same 2 rings.
Daryl decides he can't see with that headgear on, so he just gives it a flick, and it's off his head now. 7 seconds left. Daryl ends a personal drought for him, scoring his first points ever in Hang Tough. 5 for the draw.
Mike, we talked about it earlier, of just how tough an event this is for Daryl. He had a lot of problems moving back and forth with the rings. At the end, he was simply stalled in midair. You know, his arms were very tired, but he managed to hang in there and pick up the 5 points.
Women are set to hang tough. A look at Tracy Passo, who has a 1-point lead over Susie Stenzel coming into this event. She'll have to deal with ice. In the preliminary round, Tracy went against ice and actually made it across to ice's platform in 42 seconds.
She's in a pinch. She has to get some points. She's got to open that lead. The Eliminator is out there waiting. Tracy with some bold moves straight ahead.
Bounced right off of ice, though.
Ice says, come on. That's it.
Tracy's got that look on her face. What am I doing? I ran right into him.
Ice careful not to take her around the throat. He takes her down.
Just a matter of time before a contender goes down when Ice has those legs wrapped around you.
There's Tracy's sister, Christy. She's a little dismayed about what just happened to Tracy. Tracy's not too happy about it either. But when Ice puts those big legs around you, well, your time is going to be short on the rings. Again, Ice being very careful not to get her by the throat.
Ice Ice Baby does it again. Her record now 11-2. Susie Stenzel now will get her chance. She leads by 1. She can improve that lead. She lost to Zap in the 2nd round.
Here we go, here we go. 1 down, going for 2.
Ice seems very, very positive of it. Susie says no way.
You're going down.
Ready?
Going down.
Somebody's going down. Susie's 2nd shot in this event. The 2nd round, she lost to Zap.
And if you remember that, when she did lose to Zap, she beat on the mat. She thought she was stripped off when she could have, in fact, scored some points. Disillusioned with what happened. Now an opportunity to redeem herself and also earn a lot of money in the process.
Susie, one of our more vocal contenders, who really enjoys chatting it up with the Gladiators. 30 seconds left.
She doesn't seem to be the least bit intimidated by them. She's facing off there with Ice.
This traverse across the rings hasn't exactly been poetry in motion, and now Ice and Tracy are all hung up. Their rings are entangled, their bodies are entangled, and this could spell trouble for Susie.
Whoa, off she comes. That wasn't a finger I saw fall there, was it?
I saw something, hopefully not a nail or something.
I'll tell you what that is, Mike. That's one of those finger grips the Contenders wear.
Susie knows something's missing as Ice continues her stingy ways and hang tough.
Ice is one tough customer to deal with, particularly on the rings. Here she says, hey, Susie, take a ride on the ice merry-go-round. That's long enough.
And if Susie thinks she's dizzy now, wait till the next event, the maze. That's up next. Our semifinal round continues here on the American Gladiators. Susie Stenzel and Tracy Passo as close can be. Tracy with a 1-point lead. Coming up next, event number 5, the maze. Again, our contenders have 45 seconds to go from one end of the maze to the other. Along the way, however, they must encounter, well, they don't necessarily have to encounter, but they got to get by Zap, Lace, Diamond, and Blaze.
Maze is set up a little different this go-around, Mike. It's a little more difficult. There's only one correct solution, and you can just about count on running into 3 of those 4 gladiators along your route. Which might not be all bad. We might be in there for days, Mike.
Ready!
We're up next, Claire.
Okay.
Ready!
Referee Larry Thompson about to get the contenders on their way.
Tracy and Susie get by Zap. No, they don't get by Zap. Zap picks them both off. Zap chasing them.
I'll tell you what, that's another problem for the contenders. A lot of times they run into each other. Hello, Lace.
Lace has got one of them pinned in there. Who's that?
Tracy almost back where she started from, as is Susie. Less than 20 seconds to go now. As both contenders now running to Diamond, 10 seconds left. Remember, they got to squirt out at the other end in under 45 seconds. Oh, Tracy, wrong way. And that is it. Time expires. Neither woman makes it to the other end of the maze.
Very difficult.
Well, Telly Savalas loves the American Gladiators, and you can join the American Gladiators fan club by sending $3 check or money order to Van Nuys, California, 91463-0001. Who loves you, baby? Daryl Golar leads Tommy Knox 11-8 going into this event. However, Tommy has the record in the maze. He skirted through in 15 seconds.
But our Gladiators perhaps have a different idea about that today. You're looking at the likes of Tower, Thunder, Laser, and last but certainly not least, the bad boy, Nitro.
Tommy with a chance to take the lead if he can win it and pick up 10 points.
Ready! Gladiators, ready!
Contenders have 45 seconds to get to the opposite end of the maze. And again, it is not easy. There's only one correct solution here. And for this semifinal round, we've made this maze a little more difficult. There's about 14, 15 steering panels that we can place and lift out.
Daryl and Tommy both find Tower.
And now they find each other.
Oh, man. Tommy gets it right in the kisser, goes down backwards.
10 seconds remaining. These are two confused young men. Here comes Daryl Golar. He does it, and so does Tommy Knox. Daryl gets the 10 points, Tommy Knox 5. And Daryl takes a 21-13 lead. Some last-second excitement, but we've got a lot more excitement to come because up next on the American Gladiators, Susie Stenzel and Tracy Passo will go at it in assault. Welcome back to Gladiator Arena, Los Angeles, California. Our semifinal round continues, and the men are set to go through our assault course. Tommy Knox up first. He trails Daryl Golar 21-13. This is the last event before the all-important Eliminator. So Tommy really needs to cut into that Daryl Golar lead.
Tommy's going to face off with Nitro.
And nobody has picked off a contender faster than Nitro. He nailed Randy Jones back in the first half season in 2 seconds. The 30-year-old chiropractor from Huntington Beach, California. His hero is John Wayne. Now it's time for Tommy to stand tall in the saddle. Again, a contender has 60 seconds to hit that target located above the Gladiator.
Low and outside.
Again, to refresh your memory, contender also awarded points for every
Duck, Mike.
for every weapon he fires. Tommy has fired 2, so he's picked up 2 points.
One at us.
Less than 30 seconds now.
Yet he's got to beat that clock. He's got to speed it up.
Tommy Knox pulls it out.
That old cowboy background paid off.
Boy, he needed those big points. He got it.
Nitro unhappy. Tommy Knox, he needed the points. Points that cannon and comes through. Nitro can't believe it, but the fans from Huntington Beach can.
Well, let's see how Daryl Golar responds to the pressure. He now trails by 2 points, 23-21. In the assault before in the preliminary round, he did get that target above the Gladiator. In that case, it was laser.
Golar, you gotta like this guy, you know. For Powerball, he smacks himself in the face. For assault, he gets that serious look on his face. He's a competitor. A competitor that's running scared and ducking.
Again, those tennis balls are not forgiven.
Yeah! All right, right in the middle. Look at Daryl. Look at Nitro. He doesn't believe it.
And that doesn't happen very often, Larry. Nitro gets decked twice.
Daryl says, hey, Tommy Knox, if you can do it, so can I.
Golar, yeah.
Now look at Blaze. She'll be manning the tennis cannon for the Gladiators as the women get set to go here. Susie Stenzel is up first. She trails Tracy Passo by a point coming into this event. This is Susie's first time around in assault.
Ready!
Again, the contenders working against a 60-second time limit.
Susie high and wide a little bit with that crossbow. Doing a good job of facing up to the cannon as we have some tennis balls ricochet off the top of the studio. A little high with a rocket too, Mike.
Every weapon fired worth a point for the contenders, so Susie's got 2 right now. Now 3.
She got Blaze ducking. "25 seconds left on the clock. She goes a little low.
Now 4 points. Obviously, what she'd really like to do is hit that target. That would be worth 10. 15 seconds to go now. Haven't seen this technique yet. She's actually carrying the weapon with her. Fires it blindly. She tries to cross the finish line without being hit.
There's a somersault in one area.
5 seconds were left on the clock. Susie gets an additional point for crossing the finish line without being hit. So she picks up 6 points, and now it leads 23-18. And Tracy will get her shot now, also against Blaze. Keep in mind, the Eliminator is next.
And Mike, Tracy has the pressure on her. She has to get 10 points here to have any kind of chance at all in the Eliminator.
Certainly based on previous times, Tracy's best in the Eliminator a full 10 seconds slower than Susie Stenzel. She needs the 10 here.
She's going to be very motivated in the Eliminator. Oh, just a little to the left.
Constantly amazed by Tracy's grit, determination. Blaze almost got decked there. Tracy Passo with still plenty of time. 30 seconds to go.
Tracy rounding her corners off a little bit from safe zone to safe zone. Facing off of that cannon. Oh, just a little high again. Close twice.
Now 18 seconds. She fires this weapon. She'll now have 5 points. Looks like she did get that off. She's got 7 seconds to cross that finish line and earn an additional
point. The 3 zone and I get hit in the finger.
She ran out of gas, but guess what, Larry? She picked up 5 points. And after 6 events, Susie Stenzel and Tracy Passo tied at 23, meaning that neither woman will get a head start in the Eliminator. That all-important Eliminator is our next event as the American Gladiators continues right after this. Next week, a special edition of the American Gladiators. The Gladiators go face-to-face with pro football stars of yesteryear, among them NFL Hall of Famer Jack Ham.
I can't wait. My wife thinks I'm absolutely crazy, but I think I'm going to be in better shape than George Foreman for the events.
Oakland Raider wide receiver Cliff Branch and Larry Zonka's former running mate Jim Kick.
No pain, no gain.
Don't miss all the bone-crushing action, the American Gladiator Pro Football Challenge of Champions. Welcome back to Gladiator Arena, Los Angeles, California, and the final test awaits our women. The Eliminator will decide who advances to the second half final 2 weeks from now. Tracy Passo and Susie Stenzel, well, they're dead even, 23 points apiece. No head starts, no advantages. Quite simply, the woman who crosses the finish line first advances on. The bad news for Tracy, her best Eliminator time to date, a full 10 seconds slower than that of Susie Stenzel. Will that be a factor? Let's find out. Tracy's with Larry at the start line. Larry?
Tracy, even though it appears that you're even, you're still battling a little bit of a time handicap because of your slower time in the Eliminator. How do you feel about that?
Well, Larry, even though I may be a little behind on the past Eliminators, this is an all-new Eliminator. They've sped up the treadmill, they've sped up the log, and Susie and I are dead even, so it's going to be one heck of an Eliminator.
I'm looking forward to watching. Good luck, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right.
And Larry, no doubt the one element of the Eliminator in the back of Tracy's mind right now, that spinning log or spinning cylinder. It nailed her twice. First here in the first round, watch her go down, and then it got her again in the second round. But each time she picked herself up, dusted herself off, and started all over again to win. In the penalty pit below the handbike, Lace and Blaze, and on the tower over the final straightaway are 2 other Gladiators, in this case, Ice and Diamond. Again, they'll go off dead even. Susie Stenzel in the yellow, Tracy Passo in the orange. The first test, the treadmill. They're on their way. Susie with the slight lead as they're done with the handbikes. Now across those spinning cylinders. Here's Tracy on that log. Oh, she falls down again. That could cost her the race. Tracy's only hope right now that Susie struggles a little more on the cargo nets, but she's not doing that.
Susie's up there. She's across. The attendant checks her eyes. She's up, Mike.
Susie Stenzel, a woman who took over as an alternate in the preliminary rounds for the injured Terry Plunkett, doing a whale of a job.
Over that second wall.
She's going to move on, it looks like, and will, to our second half finals. As Tracy Passo finishes up.
You're 3-0 in this Eliminator, aren't you?
You got it. I love this one. I love the Eliminator.
Let me ask you something. You went across that rolling log, slow, small steps. I've never seen anyone go across like that and keep their balance. You look like you wrote the handbook on that.
I was determined. I was determined.
Well, you've been determined all along. Congratulations and welcome to the second half final, gal.
Thanks.
Mike?
And Susie will face the winner of next week's semifinal between Kathy Malika and A.J. Perling. Certainly congratulations in order also to Tracy Passo. She was outstanding in defeat. The men stand ready to attack this Eliminator course, and both Tommy Knox and Daryl Golar have overcome slow starts to really pile up the points in the last 3 events. And Daryl's 8-point lead gives him a 4-second head start. But I don't think that's going to bother our chiropractor too much. He has come too far to give up right now, and right now he's with Larry at the start line. Larry?
Yeah, cowboys never die, do they? You've been on both sides of this handicap. You've had the advantage, you've had the disadvantage. Right now you're staring at 4 seconds disadvantage. How you feel about it?
I'm just going to rest here while Daryl gets started, and then I'll go get it.
Anything can happen. One spill on the log, one spill on the handbike, and you're back in it.
That's right. I'll be right behind him the whole way.
All right. We'll be watching. Good luck.
And Larry, at the top of our show, we referred to Tommy as our weekend warrior. Well, he's fared well against our world-class wrestler. Great achievement to come this far. On the course for the Gladiators underneath the handbike in the penalty pit, Nitro and Thunder. And on the platform above the final straightaway, it'll be Gemini and Tower. Daryl Golar, the 2-time national Greco-Roman champion, against the chiropractor Tommy Knox. Tommy with that 4-second deficit. His whole family here from Huntington Beach, California to root him on. There goes Daryl. Here comes Tommy. Daryl pumping away across on that handbike. No mistake so far for Mr. Golar. Tommy Knox goes down.
Tommy makes the big air. Comes off. Let's Daryl open up that lead. He's up on the platform. They check his eyes, and he's off, Mike.
And he's screaming, Golar! Coming down the zip line, Larry.
One of the few people I've ever seen smile during the course of the Eliminator. This guy likes it.
Tommy Knox has made up a little ground, but not much. Daryl Golar, he's going to win it. He's going to cross the finish line first.
Yeah. You know something, my friend? I've watched you do this 3 times now. You're the only guy I've ever seen smile while he's going through the Eliminator.
Man, it feels good.
It ought to feel good.
Woo!
You didn't look back, and you didn't make a mistake.
That's the key to it.
And Daryl, you know how it is when you perform in sports.
Yeah.
You get a little bit close. Now you've gone and won the championship in wrestling before. Now you're smelling the money, aren't you?
I'm smelling the money. Let me tell you. It's the first time somebody ever told me they give me 35 grand for winning, so I'm gonna win.
You're gonna smile all the way to the bank. Congratulations. Welcome to the second half finals. You're there, my man.
So Daryl Golar joins Susie Stencil in our second half finals. Daryl will face either Joe Morrow or Tony Corella. Susie will face either A.J. Perling or Kathy Malika. Again, our congratulations also in order to our runners-up, Tommy Knox and Tracy Passo. That's it from Gladiator Arena. For Larry Zonka, I'm Mike Adamley. See you next week for another semifinal match on the American Gladiators.
Hi, Mom.
Champions will receive an all-expenses paid Club Med vacation. With over 100 villages worldwide, Club Med offers the perfect vacation for families, couples, and singles. This year, take home a Club Med vacation.